Shradha Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shradha Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Gopijana परिव्रजकाचार्य श्लोक अभय चरणारविंद भक्त वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य श्लोक श्रीमद भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा द्वारिका धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा मैया की जय। यमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हिताय गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो नलिननेत्राय वेणुवाद्याय विनोदिने राधाधर सुधापान शालिने पदमालिने महाभावस्वरूपास्त्वं कृष्णप्रिया वरीयसी प्रेमभक्ति प्रदे देवी श्रीराधिका त्वं नमोस्तुते। Hare Krishna. So today we will discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam the most wonderful pastime of Lord Vaman. Lord Vamana, he appeared to show us three things: that what should be the relation between husband and wife, how that should be maintained. And if that relation is really wonderful, then Lord, he himself comes and takes birth in their house. Second thing, irrespective of your position and your caste, creed, nationality, how Lord gets bound by the devotion. And third thing is that the power of Brahmanas, how Brahmanas are powerful. Whenever Lord appears, he comes for what? What he says in Bhagavad Gita? Why he appears?
To destroy adharma and protect dharma. Yada hi dharmasya. Yada hi dharmasya glanam bhavati.
To protect religion and to destroy
demon.
the people who never follows the religion. Not necessarily only demons. He says paritranaya sarvam vinashaya cha dushkritam. He never says rakshasa or demons. He says dushkritinas. And who are those dushkritinas?
Ones who are against religion, practice of religion.
What is that verse?
Atheist.
There are four kinds of people who are considered as a dushkritina. There are sukritinas. Who are sukritinas?
Four kinds of.
Which are they? Bhakti Shastri करते हैं ना? हाँ.
Our almost have demon. Yeah.
Who are in distress, who have the desire of wealth.
No.
Sukratina. She is.
They're kind of
Jnani, Arthi, Artha, Arthati, Jnani, and Jidnasu. These are Sukritinas. So who take shelter of the Lord for what? Because they are in distress condition. Artha. Arthati, because they need something materially from the Lord. Third, Jnani, who are seeking for the knowledge. And fourth one is Jigyasu. So these are the Sukritinas. Then who are the Dushkritinas? हाँ मारो गूगल गुरु करो अभी माया अपरत ज्ञान, the person whose knowledge is stolen by the material energy. Naradhama, the lowest among the mankinds. And who else? Rakshasim bhavam ashritaha. These four kind of people, they don't take, they are considered as a dushkrinita, dushkritinas. So Lord comes to annihilate this dushkritinas. So Vamandev, when he desire actually, when Lord desire actually to come, most of the time people they say, why Lord is not appearing now? There is so much of nonsense going on everywhere, so much of disturbance everywhere. Why Lord is not appearing? He is not appearing because no one is praying him for that. He never comes by his own. He comes by when someone invites him, when someone prays for his appearance. And if his devotees are in calamities, he comes. That's why he says first thing, paritranaya sadhana, to save the sadhus, to save his own devotees. So if you are not devotee, then why he will come to save you? So first thing what you need to get the Lord appeared in this material world, you need to be devotee first. When you become devotee, and if you are in a dangerous position, then he comes to save. He is there already, as he says, Sarvasya chaham radhi sannivishto that I am residing in everyone's heart. But we don't realize that. Because he says, Mudoyam Nav Janadi, fools and rascals, they don't realize me, my presence. But when devotees, they pray for that, like demigods. When there was a war between demons and demigods, and demons became very powerful. They became so powerful that they made ran away all the demigods living there, Alkapuri. There are reasons, several reasons for Lord's pastime. There is no one reason that for one reason he comes. There are many reasons to fulfill all that situations Lord appears. Like once Indra, Devendra, who is the king of demigods, he became very puffed up of his position. And as he was traveling on riding his Airavata elephant, he saw that Durvasa Muni is coming. So, because he thought that he is the king of demigods, and Durvasa Muni is a great sage, great rishi. So, what he did generally, a saintly person, they always like to give away, So, he had really wonderful garland which was offered by some apsaras to him. Those flowers from Nandankanan garden, from the heavenly planets. So that garland was really beautiful. On top of that, he thought that let me bless Indra with this garland. So he gave it to Indra. And Indra, he thought in his mind that, hey, this is simple Manusha. He came from the Manav Loka, Martya Loka, and he is giving me his used garland. It's great insult to me. So he gave that, rather than putting that around, he gave that garland in Airavata's trunk. And Airavata, being an animal, what he did? He threw it on the earth and he crushed it down. And do you know who was that person who gave that? That was Durvasa, Shigra Kopi. He just looked at Indra and said, you rascal, you became so puffed up. You think that you are more powerful than the Brahmanas? See what happens. You will be Shri Rahita. There will be no Lakshmi, no opulences. You have to run away from your opulences. The time will come and then you have to run away. He offended Brahmana, and the consequence is that being the king of demigod, he was overthrown from his position. And he has to run away. All the demigods, they have to hide away from Bali Maharaj. Then question comes, why Bali Maharaj became so powerful? Bali Maharaj became powerful because he followed his spiritual master. Who was his spiritual master? Shukracharya. And he followed the instruction of Shukracharya as it is. And because Shukracharya was so powerful, he gave him a full power that you go and now you can go and destroy all the demigods. Because they found out the lake of nectar. So where demon used to get died, he used to put them into that pond of nectar, and they again used to bring back to the life, and they used to fight. In that way, all demigods, they were overthrown because of curse of Brahmana, and Bali Maharaj became powerful because of blessings of Brahmana. So that is the power of Brahmana. That's why it is said that demigods, all the demigods, they are controlled by the mantras. All these mantras, they are controlled by the Brahmanas. So Brahmanas are more powerful than the demigods. And we have read in the pastime or the instructions of Prathu Maharaj that Lord, he himself says, whatever fame, whatever opulences, and whatever position that he has got, he says it's because of the mercy of Brahmanas. And as we know, Lord is known as Namo Brahmanya Devaya. He is the Lord of the Brahmanas, and Brahmanas are Lord for him. He worships the Brahmanas. So one has to be very careful while dealing with a Brahmana. Whether he follows or not, being taken a birth in a Brahmana family itself is a great punya that he has. And if he doesn't follow it, like Ravana, even though he was a son of a Brahmana, he was a grandson of a Pulatsya Rasi, he never followed, but when Lord Ramachandra killed him, he did prayaschitta for that. So one should, like it is explained in Kamba Ramayana, when Ravana he came and he was just blaspheming Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, with a folded hand, he said, "You are great in age, you are great in a social status. So I request you, enough of talking now and start fighting with me. Let's our bows talk rather than you yourself." He took permission from Ravana to fight. Can you imagine? He was honoring Brahmana that much. Whoever honors Brahmana, victory comes to him. That's what we can learn from this episode of Vaman Deva's appearance. Whenever kids are in calamities, who gets more pain in the heart? Mother. So Aditi, Mother Aditi, from whom all the demigods they were born, she was very morose. And she was praying to the Lordship that how my sons will get out of this calamities and they will be re-established in their own position. What can be done for that? So she asked her husband, and her husband is Kashyapa Rishi. Kashyapa had many wives. So one of them is Aditi, and the other one is Diti. So Diti is the mother of all the Danavas, and Aditi is the mother of all the Devatas. The word Aditi means who has full faith in their lordship and worshipping their Lord from the bottom of her heart. The word Aditi itself means. So she prayed. Then her husband, being a chaste lady, she asked her husband, "What can be done now? Can you tell me?" Then Kashyapa Muni explained her about Payovrata, a particular vrata in which she should drink only milk, no food, other foodstuffs. And that she has to do it for the 12 days. Early in the morning, she should get up, do the Sandhya Vandana. Even those days, women were allowed to do Sandhya Vandana. So, she got done the Sandhya, Prata Sandhya. After that, then she worshipped their lordship with particular mantra that is given here. She chanted that mantra. With that mantra, she did fire sacrifice with the payasam. And after feeding all the brahmanas, then both husband and wife, they took prasad. And after doing that, on the 12th day, Lord appeared in front of her. And then she prayed their lordship. She offered like a wonderful prayers. She said, "Oh my Lord, you are the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Yadnesha yatne purusha achyuta tirthapada tirtha shrava shravana mangala namakena apanna loka bhajanopashep modayadya shannaha kridishaha bhagavan asi dinanatha." She said, "O master and enjoyer of all sacrificial ceremonies, O infallible and most famous person, whose name when chanted spreads all good fortune. O original supreme personality of a Godhead, supreme controller, shelter of all holy places, You are the shelter of all poor, suffering, living entities, and you have appeared to diminish their suffering. Please be kind to us and spread our good fortune. So here she is praying for good fortune. Then she says, because you are the one who can give that, no one else. Vishwaya Vishwabhavana Sthita Sanyamaya Swairam Gruhita Purusha Shakti Gunaya Bhumne Swasthaya Shashwadarupa Gruhitam Purana Bodha Vyapaditatma Tamase Haraye Namaste. My Lord, you are the all-pervading universal form, the fully independent creator, maintainer, and destroyer of this universe. Although you engage your energy in matter, you are always situated in your original form and never fall from that position. For your knowledge is infallible and always suitable to any situation. You are never bewildered by illusion. O my Lord, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. And here is the last prayer that she offers. And she explained, if someone worships their Lordship and praise Him, and if Lord is pleased, then what are the things that you can blessed with or you can get? So she says, Ayu param vapur bhishta tulya lakshmihi Dyo bhurasa sakala yoga gunas trivargaha Jnanam cha kevalam anantam bhavati tushtat Tattvo nrunam kimuko sapatna jaya adirashihi. O unlimited one, if your lordship is satisfied, one can very easily obtain a lifetime as long as that of Lord Brahma. No need to go to doctors. Just pray their lordship. You will get Purna Ayu as long as Lord Brahma. A body either in upper, lower or middle planetary system. Unlimited material opulences, religion, economic development, and satisfaction of the senses. That's most important thing that you can achieve by pleasing their Lordship. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his prayers, what he says? Gopinath, Tumi Rishikesha Rishikadamiya Koroho Atmasat. My Lord, you are the master of the senses and you only can control senses, no one else. And that's what she is saying here. Full transcendental knowledge and the eighth yogic perfection, Ashtasiddhis. What if we speak of such a petty achievements as a conquering one's rivals? Actually, she was praying their lordship so that her sons, they can conquer the rivals, the Daityas, and they can come back to their own position. But she herself says, what to speak of this small thing? All these things which are enlisted above, all they are achieved just by the satisfaction of their lordship. And after hearing these prayers, Lord says, O mother of the demigods, I have already understood your long cherished desire for the welfare of your sons, who have been deprived of all opulences and driven from their residence by their enemies. O goddess, I can understand that you want to regain your sons and be together with them to worship me. That's most important thing. I know that your desire that why do you want all those things? Because all together you want to worship me. She never just wanted the kingdom for her kids, but she wanted that together. I was just looking for that particular word. It says, Tan vinirjitya samare durdanava suram arshanam pratilabda jayashrivehi putra ari ichhasyu upasitum. It's not that you are just want that they should conquer their enemies and get their own position, but you wanted that putrair ichhasyu upasitum. कि आपने with our kids, she wanted to offer worship to their lordship. That's her desire. And then Lord says, you wanted a son like me, but there is no one like me. Matta parataram nat unchatasti. There is nothing like me. So I have to come. So he said, I will come as your son. And then further he says, this is most important instruction. Actually, what should be the relationship between husband and wife? Lord, he himself explaining. He says, you have prayed to me and properly worship me by performing the great Payovrata ceremony for the sake of protecting your sons. Because of Kashyap Muni's austerities, I shall agree to become your son and thus protect your other sons. Then he says, Upadhava patim bhatre prajapati akalmasham mam cha bhavayati patyor vevaro upam avasthitam. Mam cha bhavayati. Always thinking of me as being situated within the body of your husband, Kashyapa, go worship your husband who has been purified by his austerities. So that should be the relationship. The husband should be austere because austerity purifies the existence. That means the husband should be pure enough that she can accept him as Lord himself. And that's why she says, that's what Lord says here, Mam ja bhavayati patyar vevuram upa avasthitam. And then he says, Naitat parasma mathyayam pushtayapi katham jana sarva sampadyate devi deva guhyam susampritaha. Oh lady, even if someone inquires, you should not disclose this fact to anyone. That which is very confidential is successful if kept secret. Because for women to keep secret is very difficult. That's why he is asking her that keep it secret. That means whatever bhajan you do, whatever sadhana you do, that should be kept secret. It should not be exposed. It should not be like a billboards, It should be hidden. And then Lord appeared as their son. And how he appeared? Actually, Shukdev Goswami, he gives wonderful. He says, it's not that Lord is not there. As he says that, I'm everywhere. Then why he has to appear? There is a fire in each and every wood. But are you able to see that wood, that fire? If you touch that wood, does it burn you? No. But there is a fire. But when it appears, you need another fire to come in contact with that wood. So that other fire is our devotion. Unless and until you show your devotion, he never comes in front of you. What brings him to you is Adityam Viryadhamatta Tapasa Chirasambratam Samahitana Rajanya Yada Darunya Agni Anilaha. O king, as the wind promotes friction between two pieces of wood and thus gives rise to fire, Kashyapa Muni, whose transcendental position was fully absorbed in the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, transferred his potency into the womb of Aditi. So you need love, devotion, your own sadhana, so that Lord can appear. And then Lord appeared in front of them with four hands. So he was not born like any other child, but he appeared. That's why we call Avirbhav. Lord, he appeared there. And after he appeared, all the demigods, they came there and they started offering him prayers. Jayo Udgaya Bhagavan Urkramanostute Namo Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namo Namaha. Lord Brahma, he came forth and he started offering his prayers. O Supreme Personality of a Godhead, all glories unto you. who are glorified by all and whose activities are all uncommon. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, O Lord of the Transcendentalist, controller of the three modes of nature. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. He says here, Lord as a Brahmanya Dev. Again, the Lord of the Brahmanas. Then he says, you are Krishna Garbha, you are Veda Garbha, and you appear again and again to save all the living entities. So here, when Lord appeared, he appeared as like a small dwarf or Vatu. He was so beautiful. Everyone got attracted to him. And he was Brahmana's son. He get done his Upanayan at the age of fifth year from the, or sixth year from the Garbha, from the conception actually. So at the age of 5. So Lord was so cute, all the demigods they came and they started offering him gifts. Generally in the Upanayan. So here, Suryadev, he came and he chanted Gayatri Mantra, the Surya Gayatri, in his, he gave him a kamandal. Kashyapa Muni gave him a vest band. What they call? Mruga Charma, deer skin. Soma, the lord of all the medicines, Chandra, moon, he came and he gave him a Brahmadanda. And Brihaspati, he came and gave him wonderful instruction that how one should live in this material world. And he told in them, you are how to follow the brahmacharya and the importance of following three sandhya. Why one has to follow that. And he explained everything. And after that, he heard from Brahma. Went to the Mother Annapurna to get the first arm, Bhiksha. And he got Bhiksha from her. And then he looked at Brihaspati and Brihaspati said, there is one really great Yajamana. And even think about. So you should go to where? Kutcha, Bhrugu Kutcha, the place in Gujarat right now. Because that's the place where Bali Maharaj was performing 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. He got the kingdom of demigods because of the mercy of Brahmana. But to sustain that or to maintain that, he need to have a pious activities. Because as explained in the Vedas, whoever follows and completes the 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas, he becomes qualified to become a king of heaven. He said, you got the kingdom of heaven, but you are not qualified to sit on the throne. So now you have to become qualified to sit on the throne. So what you should do? You perform 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. He did. He did 99 of that. And the last one was remaining, 100th one. And then there came Lord Vamana. He was so beautiful and so effulgent. All the great sages who were there for the yagyas, immediately they stood up. They thought that either it's a Sanaka who has come to visit us. But when he came, they thought it is not Sanat Kumar. Among the Chatush Kumaras, Sanat Kumar is very effulgent. So they thought that he must be Sanat Kumar, but he's not Sanat Kumar. They saw him, his beauty. Bali Maharaj immediately got up and he came forth. He offered him all the upacharas for the Swagata and he offered him a seat to sit. And then he asked, how I can serve you? It's my good fortune that person like you, who is so effulgent, who is having such a Brahma Teja, has come to my place. It looks like me, Lord is really pleased with me or performance of my yajna, that he has come himself. See, even though we consider Bali Maharaj as Mahajan, and Yamaraj says that if you really want to know the religion or dharma, then you should follow the footsteps of Mahajanas. Such a Mahajan, even he was not able to recognize Lord himself. Whether you are a demon or you are a demigod, whether you are powerful by knowledge or maybe bodily strength, unless and until you have a spiritual master who can introduce you to the Lord, you will not understand Lord himself, even though he is rightly standing in front of you. Bali Maharaj was not knowing. He was thinking he is just a Vatu, one of the Brahmana who has performed a lot of austerities, and because of that austerities, he got this Teja. And then he asked, now you are here, so I would like to gift you something, donate you something. Please ask for that. And then Lord Vamana said, I need just 3 pecks of land, 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj started thinking, what is this? I think you are a child and you don't know what to ask and from whom to ask. Do you know who am I? I'm Bali, the king or emperor of the whole universe. And you are asking me just 3 steps of land, and that of yours. At least ask for mine. I'm such a huge person, I can give you that much. But you need only a 3 steps of land. Actually, that's my insult. And then he says here, there's a nice verse, something. Then I give him that much that there is no need for him to go and ask anything from anyone. Lifetime, everything I will give it to you. Whatever needed for, henceforth, up to the last breath of your life, I will provide everything. And why you are asking such a 3 steps of life? Ask something more. So Bali, Vaman there, actually he tells us that if you go to ask for donation, how you should start with. So he went there, Bali Vaman there, and he started praising him first. Nowadays, if you really want to get a good donation, go and praise the Yajamana's wife, because everything is under their control nowadays. If they are pleased, then automatically you will get donation. But here he went and he started praising not him only, he started praising his ancestor. He started with Prahlad Maharaj. He said, you are a great grandson of whom? Maharaj Prahlad. The one for whom Lord Narasimha appeared, just for him, no other reason. He's such a great Bhagavata person. And his father actually starts with Hiranyaksha. He said, your uncle was so powerful. Single-handedly, club in his hand, he went all around the world. No one was ready to fight with him, so he conquered the whole world. And he was so powerful, he took the earth into the Garbhodak ocean. And Lord Vishnu, he has to take form as a Varaha to come and kill him. But even it was a tough fight between them. There also he is glorifying Hiranyaksha. Even though he was killed by Vishnu, but it was a really great fight for Vishnu himself. That means he was so powerful. And when your uncle got killed, your father, he took the Shula, Trishula in his hand, Shulapani. He came with a trident and he was looking for Vishnu. So Vishnu got scared of him. And he started running and there he looked for Vishnu. And he was not there, he just disappeared. He found out one hideout place. And what was that? It's the heart of Hiranyakashipu. So he entered into the heart of Hiranyakashipu and he was staying there. And there Vaman they gave teaching. He said, everyone looks anarthas in others, They never look anything inside them. So that's what happened. So that was the safest place for the Lord. He's remain in his heart. And then he says, you are the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, who was such a great devotee that he made appear that Lord from your great grandfather's heart. And then Lord appeared and blessed him. He said, no, killed your great grandfather, but he said he blessed him. And then said, your father was such a great person, Virochan. For the sake of Brahmanas, he gave his remaining life. Whatever life he had, that many years he donated to Brahmanas. And now it looks like you have all the strengths of your great grandfathers, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. That's why you powerfully destroyed all the demigods and their opulences. Second thing, you have such a sense control like your like your grandfather Prahlad Maharaj. And you got all the virtues of your father to give anything in charity. That's why I'm asking you just 3 steps of land from me. I don't want anything else. After hearing so much, who will say no? Huh? So Ralima said, okay, granted, you can take it. And Shukracharya, he said, okay, granted, then give it to me. So he wanted to do sankalpa, so he took the jari or kalasha, take a water, but he saw that water is not coming out from that. And then he looked, before that actually he asked Shukracharya, because he is a Kula Purohit and his guru, so he asked him, please chant the Sankalpa mantra so that I can donate whatever he asking for. Then Shukracharya immediately, he said, this is not sun god or neither Sanak. Who is he? Then Shukracharya, he meditated for a while and then he realized he is none other than Kapati Vishnu, the deceiver, the Chalyasi, the Chaliya. He has, the pretender, he has disguised himself as a Brahmana and he has come to cheat my Yajaman. So it is the duty of the Purohit to do best for his Yajaman. So Shukracharya said, Bali, wait. Don't do this. I know you have promised him, but promise can be broken. For your safety, you can break that promise. I said, why? You don't know who is this guy. I know him very well. Then he asked, who is he? He is Vishnu. He is that deceiver. Bali Maharaj was shocked. He said, what? Yes, he has asked the 3 steps of life, but he within a 2 only he will conquer the whole universe, and there will be nothing to offer him, and you will be breaking your promise. Anyway, you are going to break your promise, so it's better that you break it right now. Don't give it to him. Bali Maharaj said, I know, I respect you, you are my spiritual master, but I'm sorry, I can't follow your instruction. Because we are performing this yajna, and who is yajna? Lord himself, Yagyesh, he is the Yagnesh. And that's the first word that Mother Atiti has used in her prayers, Yagnesh Yajnapati. So she was indirectly indicating that you are Yagnesh and Yajnapati, that guy is going to do yajna and acquiring the kingdom of my kids. You do something. So he went there in that yajna. It's him. And right now he is there to ask. Then what else? I'm going to give it. Then Shukracharya curses him because you are disrespecting my word. Indra lost his opulences because he offended Brahmana. Bali lost his opulences because he disobeyed his spiritual master who is a Brahmana. So either you may be a powerful demigod or maybe a powerful demon. If you disrespect Brahmana, you will lose everything. Even the Lord is in front of him. As she says, you are the one who gives all opulences, and he is there to beg that from Bali. So Bali said, see, I'm in the position to give to the Lord. He is spreading his hand in front of me. I'm going to give. Then Vamana says, okay, I know how to chant mantra, so let me chant Sankalpa mantra. And Vaman Devi chants the Sankalpa mantra and takes that. And whatever happened next, that we'll discuss tomorrow evening. Hare Krishna. Shri Vaman Dev Bhagavan ki jai. Any question?
What happens next?
Please come tomorrow 6 o'clock. There's a wonderful conversation actually that we will discuss tomorrow. I wanted to continue that, but those shlokas are most important. So we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you everyone for coming.